Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time.
Jesse, you're muted.
Jesse, you're muted.
I'm your host, Jesse Steven, and I am here with the most helpful co-hosts anyone could ever have, telling me when I'm muted. Starting with the auspicious Austin Bell. We're on brand tonight, buddy. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm terrific. I'm going to go ahead and explain how my weekend was. So Saturday was good. Didn't do anything. That's kind of Saturday. Sunday, by about 1:15, I was ready to just throw a remote through a TV and then throw the TV off the wall. And then by like 3:30, I remembered how much I love football again. So, it was a typical Panther football. Like it was good. But man, I'm good. My dynasty teams are a wreck. I realized I have more rebuilds than I was expecting I was going to have. And then I have a few surprise contenders. So, it's right on par for dynasty, and it's a blast as always. How are you?
I'm good. I have a surprise contender, though, but it's a pretender. Yeah, it's 9-1.
Oh.
And I have zero depth. Chad, it's that Battle of the Bands team. I can't stop winning. The team's it's not going to win anything in the end. So,
until they do.
Yeah, been trying to trade.
Yeah, you never know.
Been trying to trade Jonathan Taylor, but strategically. I don't want to just take late first for him. But anyway, Chad, how are you tonight? My main man, Chad Mendoza.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'll be good until Thursday. So this is tomorrow. Giants will lose. It'll be great. We'll enjoy it. Order some food. And I'll try to pretend like I don't care.
I'm very worried about this game as an Eagles fan.
Don't be. You'll be okay.
Yeah, it's what everybody's telling me, that it's the Giants bye week is what I'm told, but I don't know. Maybe Saquon will be fired up for this one. I hope.
Maybe they'll give him the ball more than 6 times.
Oh, Major Mike Casper. There you are. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Like Austin, my Sunday, I was falling asleep during the third quarter of the Broncos game, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, they started doing something.
Who'd the Broncos play?
I think it's the team with the green uniforms. I can't remember.
The Jets?
Yeah. No, the one that's worse.
The worst of the Jets.
No, just kidding. No,
man,
it was a good win. Did not expect that at all, though.
Taking strays over here. Jesus.
It's all good, Jesse. It's a regular season.
We have to get him in when we can.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to
give you that. I'm told we're 4-1 and we're right where we want to be, but it feels extremely precarious to me.
Yeah, it looks ugly. I'm gonna be honest with you. Luckily, the team is so talented that's why they're 4-1.
Yeah, the coaching is,
but they don't look like a 4-1 team on the field.
The offensive coaching is just terrible. All right, Mike, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us when we're not podcasting?
Yeah, catch us on YouTube and Facebook at Dynasty Front Office, Twitter or X at Front Office FF. The Discord, links in the description. We'll be live every Thursday, assuming our teams aren't playing each other, followed by the pod release on Fridays. Please like and subscribe. Listener League is active. I'm working my way back up the rankings. So we have shirts for year one players on the way. So join the Discord and become part of the family.
That's right.
And
this is a trade banger of the week. The one deal that's too good, too bad, or just too wild not to talk about. If you've got a trade that shook up your league, send it our way. It might just be next week's banger. Tonight we have an email from, I hate that he makes me call it, from Big T.
Oh, yeah.
Big old T.
I'm not. I don't know what your real name is, Big T. I hate that you're making me call you Big T. Just gonna put that out there. So if you email again, let's come up with some alternates.
Makes his wife, his kids call him Big T.
I hope so. If I'm gonna do it, right? But anyways, let's get into Big T's email here. Actually, he DM'd me this, which is always an option, guys. If let's say you're younger than 25, you don't really email much except for work, DM me. That's perfectly fine. I'm happy to take them there too. Anyways, here's Big T's message. Hey, front office crew, long time lurker, first time DMer. Been meaning to send something in for the Trade Banger segment, and I finally made one spicy enough to share. He says that he's received Ashton Genty, Ashton Genty and Quentin Johnston, and he sent out Emeka Egbuka, David Montgomery, and an early 26 second. And he just explains a little bit more here. He says, my last 3 trades have turned out miserably and killed my running back room. Genty's been sitting on a tanker's taxi squad all year. And it feels like the time to buy in. As for QJ, call me delusional. I think he's looked really good. Monty's solid, but he's not moving the needle for me long term. And the early second was really just a get something fun ticket. I wanted to take a swing. Do you think this is a good buy low, sell high move with Egbuka and Genty, or am I just collecting more trade disappointment like it's Dynasty Pokemon?
Oh, man, really?
I like that. Appreciate you, boys. Big T. God, Big T.
I love it, Chad. You say it so well, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to exclaim it, just so the point gets across. I really hate that he's making.
You got to own it, man. You got to own the T.
I know. Anyways, Big T. Thanks for the message. Really appreciate it. Had a good conversation with him. And interesting trade, right? We're talking about 2 players that really hot on the dynasty streets right now. Ashton Genty, Emeka Egbuka being the 2 key stars of this trade. Let's start there. Jesse, Ashton Genty. Some people are saying his value's fallen a bit here. Is this a good time to buy him? What are your thoughts? Are you kind of seeing an upswing in the near future? Do you think this is a good time to buy in as Big T has proclaimed here?
Yeah, I mean, if this is the price, I would think it's a little late because the breakout seems to have already come. I'm all about Ashton Genty, and if you can get him for this kind of price, absolutely. Although, I guess we'll talk in a little bit about the other side of this trade. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm not valuing the other side of this trade as highly as the community, but the Ashton Genty part of this trade gets me really excited. And to me, it's the best player in the trade. But I have a question for you real quick before you move on to one of the other guys. Mm-hmm. Are we changing the segment name to Trade Bragger? Because I just really like that side. All right. But no, if you can buy low on Genty, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I didn't add in here because he's already making me call him Big T, but he put in parentheses the self-proclaimed trade machine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think he's already pretty high on his trading ability, although he did say that he's missed a few here. But
if I ever need a tag team partner in wrestling, I'm picking Big T.
Big T, the trade machine. All right. Austin. Well, Jesse mentioned the other side here. Let's get into it a little bit. Emeka Egbuka. I know he's a guy maybe you're not the highest on. I know you brought up a segment a little while ago. 2 things could be true where you kind of said he was a sell in your eyes. Has anything changed for you?
Well, I guess I'm going to double down because, yes, if you're telling me his current cost is roughly wide receiver 6, 7, or 8 in Dynasty, he is a sell. Maybe I'll in another month I'll look like an idiot again, but what's new? That being said, if you can get Ashton Genty for Emeka Egbuka, you do it. You do it every time, and if it somehow doesn't work out, you live with that. I think 95% of average Dynasty players, much less the smarter ones, would say Genty was a better prospect, a better player in basically any facet, at a harder position to find high-end production. We've already seen him have the ability to do that. It's just a bad offense, so it likely isn't going to happen every week. Whereas Egbuka has had multiple advantages where Mike Evans, no Godwin, him and Baker seem to have clicked instantly, especially near the end zone. And touchdowns are just so volatile. It's not something I really want to trust until I can see it multiple seasons in a row. He may have 10 this year. That's quite possible. Or he doesn't have another one the entire remainder of the season. That's also possible. That being said, man, he's come out. He's dominated. Apparently at my wide receiver 18 cost, I was wrong. But at 8, it feels like it can't really get much higher. I mean, you're telling me the guys above him after this are JSN, CeeDee Lamb, and Malik Nabers. If he's in that tier and anywhere close to that price point, I'm seeing what it costs in any league I have him to get that additional for those guys.
At what point does that change for you, right? Like at what point? And I'm not saying that I disagree at all. I'm just saying, what's the turning point where you feel, okay, you know what, the production is kind of justifying what the value is. What part of this is there a certain point in the season where you're seeing this production, or is this just like, hey, I'm going to reaffeavate this in the offseason just because the value is so drastically higher than it was when he was
a little bit of both. It wasn't that I wasn't high on him coming out. I thought he was a very solid receiver. But I think we were already seeing the apex of what type of receiver he can be, which is obviously great. I think he's like 3rd highest ever in first 5 game fantasy production for a receiver. Mm-hmm. And it's behind, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Puka and Randy Moss. So, I mean, obviously that's elite company to be in. That being said, I need to see Evans and Godwin healthy because he's still at a sub 20% target share. And this kind of production and fantasy points very rarely come out of a sub 20% target share. And that's with one of the receivers being out the entire season. So with the 2 guys coming back, I need to see the same kind of production before I'm justifying him being a dynasty top 10 receiver.
But you can, I'm sorry if I'm step on your toes or anything, Chad, but
no, go ahead.
Can you see it? Let's say it just continues for the rest of the season. Would you be there in the off season?
Yeah, I mean, I would have him roughly where I had Brian Thomas this off season, which was wide receiver 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of exactly the point is with these young guys that we don't review as quote unquote elite prospects. A lot of times they're not a flash in a pan per se, but it takes more for them to have the perfect storm. And it just feels like he's in that perfect storm currently.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Mike, I'm going to apologize if you wanted to talk about any particular players. Sorry, I'm not going to ask you about them. Big T's made an interesting comment here. Let me find it. He said he referred to the early second in the pick that he was giving up with Egbuka and David Montgomery as a get something fun ticket, and I thought that was a pretty interesting way to play Dynasty, but also just to think about getting a deal done. Is that something that you do when you're trading? Like, what's your strategy as far as including these maybe 2nd round picks that have a lower hit rate just because they're 2nd round picks, 3rd round picks in smaller trades, right? But what's your strategy and how do you approach adding in a trade just to get a deal done?
I mean, I feel like I'm always a sucker for adding some kind of pick. I have very few 2nds and 3rds in very few leagues, especially when I'm trying to get picks for my competing teams. Now, if I'm on the other side of it and I'm rebuilding, then I try to get basically what Big T gave is, give me that early 2nd because that could, I don't know, turn into a Bucky or a Puka or who knows what in the 2nd round. And plus we know, right, picks always gain value as time goes on, whereas these players even here necessarily won't. Not all of them. Like David Montgomery's probably not going up. I think we pretty much know what he is, but that second's constantly going to go up for that other guy. So I always like to throw them in trades, and then if I'm on the receiving side, I like to try to get one too if I can.
Yeah. I think that's probably, at least if I put myself in the shoes of the guy giving a Bastion Genty and Quentin Johnson, not a trade that I would personally make if I was him, but let's just, try to see it from his side. He really, really believes in the Emeka Egbuka production, views this as, kind of the entry point to something bigger. Getting a player in David Montgomery that is, dependable, and then also getting that, potential upside of an early second and saying, okay, I can potentially even sell this for something that's worth a little bit more during or just before the draft. So I can see where that pick kind of pushes the trade to, to a point where it's feasible. But yeah, is that what about you guys, Austin, Jesse? Just because it's a kind of like a strategic question, that's pretty interesting. Do you find yourself, doing that often, or is that just kind of something you're not willing to do? The value is the value. I want this to be an even trade or in my favor.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always throw a pick in here or there if that's what it takes. But I also am the kind of person that I feel like the value is the value, and I'm not going to overpay because it makes you happy unless it's something that I'm comfortable doing still. Like an early second to me isn't just a throw in. That chip will become more, it is the safest piece in this trade. It's not the most valuable. It is the safest piece in this trade. It is the only piece in this trade that will, no matter what, by May of next year, gain value. Every other asset in this trade could lose value by May. That second will not. So being it's already viewed as an early second, it's not something a throw in to me. That being said, if I am receiving what he received, I'm fine moving that pick. But no,
well, so it might be a throw in to you. I mean, maybe not in your head, right? But for the community, maybe it is a throw in for you, because the community might. I mean, we plugged just for context. We plugged this trade into keep trade cut. I think all four of us like the Ashton Genty side. Keep trade cut has this heavily in the Egbuka side. Yeah. And by heavily, I mean what was it, Austin?
It was almost a second. I mean, I think if it was valued a mid-second strong, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not in your head that this second is not a throw-in pick, but based on the community's opinion, this is a throw-in pick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot for me to throw in to get a deal done. Now, like I said, that being said, I like the side he's getting, so I'm comfortable giving that pickup. But I am a stickler when it comes to viewing my values. I'll budge a third or a throw-in piece here or there, but a second or a flex starter isn't something that I'm typically going to throw in to get a deal done. I'm not that kind of manager.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same.
Gotcha.
I just don't throw away assets. I'm curious about what Montgomery's value is in this trade. Like I don't have any shares of him because he's always been the type of player that I've always told myself I'm not paying a first for him.
Yeah. I don't think he's worth that.
No, I don't think he's worth a first. It's probably a mid-second.
Yeah.
I was say mid to early
one
second.
of them seconds where
mid or early second. Yeah.
Where you feel like could not be a playoff team, but there's a small chance they could make it. That kind of second is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe something slightly less than like a locked in early second. Like if somebody's just a far away worst team in the league. Something a little bit less than that is if I had to put a value on it in my eyes here. But I think Big T, I think you pulled something off here. I like your side. I don't think you're doing yourself any disservices here. Again, you mentioned some of your last three trades haven't gone your way. I think you got a good one here. What do you guys say? Yes, no. Did Big T win? Austin, go ahead.
Yeah, I like Big T. Old triple XLs side.
Mike.
Yeah, I like the Genty side.
Jesse.
Yeah, it's a win.
Awesome. Good stuff, guys.
I got a question, but we kind of glossed over Johnston. Would y'all view Johnston's value here as Monty in the second? Is that kind of where y'all are at, or is he above that now?
I think so, yeah, because we're talking like a late first, which now with the running back injuries there, like
I think
they're gonna be throwing like crazy. So I don't know.
I think Monty in a second is pretty fair for Quentin Johnston, but the more weeks go on and the more he produces, the more his value will solidify into a first.
Yeah. I think
that's
agree with
pretty
both
spot
of
on.
Yeah.
I think it's spot on. I think it's probably dead even in my eyes.
It feels even to me as well.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that. He's a pretty polarizing player currently.
Yeah.
In my head, at least.
Always has been.
I could not sell him for a second this offseason. I tried in so many leagues. Could not do it. So glad no one bet.
Happy for the young man.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out that way, right? Like you try to sell a player all off season and then you get in season and you're like, oh gosh, thank God.
Goodness, I didn't get that.
All right, we good on the trade banger?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yeah. So if you have a trade banger, like Big T did, feel free to DM me. I'm never gonna ignore it. But we also do have an email. It's dynfo.official@gmail.com. You can reach us there. Again, it's dynfo.official@gmail.com.
All right, Austin, you want to make a trade?
Maybe. I'm nervous.
Yeah, you're always nervous.
Yeah, that's true.
Chad, did you accept my co-owner invitation?
I will right now.
Okay. All right, and Mike, you're already in this league. This is Double Deuce.
Yep, tracking.
Okay. So just to intro the league, it is called the Double Deuce because it is 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 flex. We also have short benches, and it's a 10-team league. Scoring is really high for all positions, but I would say highest for quarterback and tight end. It's a 1.0 premium.
Correct. And rushing bonuses as well. So players like the player that's going to be involved in this trade discussion gets a significant premium with 0.5 per rushing first down. Just wanted to make sure that was said before we make too far into this discussion.
Okay, so let's just talk about the heart of the discussion. Let's jump right into it. You want to trade Hurts. I obviously want to trade for Hurts. Why do you want to trade Hurts?
Well, I'm going to start by sounding like I'm bragging, and you're going to realize by the end of it I'm not. So I think this is like year 5 of this league, and I checked before the season, and I had like an 87% win percentage in this league, including a season that I went undefeated, and I've never won the championship. So I've finished second multiple times. Have had bad luck a random week and yada yada. Anyway, point is, the team's just not producing. I made a couple trades for future assets this offseason. It's probably going to make the playoffs, but it doesn't feel like a true championship contender. So Hurts is a piece that I'm willing to fish and see if there's a trade that I like enough to improve my roster, not only for maybe this year and next, but, if something catches my attention, as in like a 27 first, that might be a piece that I'm willing to acquire in a trade. So I've kind of fished him a couple places. I had a trade that we'll discuss later in this episode, locked and loaded for him, but I held off on it for a week.
Okay. Makes sense. From my side of this, I've got some pretty good pieces, some pretty elite pieces. Puka, Saquon, JSN. I have a lot of tight ends, so I'm really deep there. Laporta and points per game master, Dallas Goedert. So I feel where I'm weak is always in this league has been quarterback. I won the championship starting Davis Mills, if you remember.
I think that was against me. It's either me or Mike.
I do remember that. It was one of us.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need an elite quarterback. I want to upgrade. I'd love to trade one of the 2 that I have. I know that we're not going to bring Tua into the discussion.
That's a good decision.
That's a good.
You and I
do that.
You and I will never agree on his value, so we're just not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good decision.
So, let's start with Mike. What would it be an offer you would make to Austin if you were me?
If I was you?
Yeah.
So looking at it and kind of just based off what he said, maybe what about Bryce, your 27 first and Strange?
No, that doesn't touch it for me.
Those movement.
No. So for Bryce, like I'm fine acquiring him, but I'm not going to acquire him at my price point. That's
Sure.
not how I play Dynasty. I'm going to look at what I would assume the average price point would be, which would be a late first to early second, and probably closer to this early second price point. I mean, he's
I
not
would have
been
to
good for
say-
fantasy, like realistically. I mean,
I would have to say late first, especially for this league because it's a 10-team league.
well, that
right?
makes it
So
much
that's-
more like an early second to me.
It makes it
Because
110.
yeah, that's worse for me if I'm saying late. To me, he would be like the 201 in this league, roughly, where
Which
I
is
could have
like
drafted
111.
Dart. Yeah, which is where I could have drafted Dart in this league. You know, that kind of price point is roughly where I'm viewing him at. So, you know, a contender's first 2 years from now, Bryce, and then an injured tight end who I like is still not worth more than a mid second in this league. I mean, most of the guys outside of the big boys, each draft class go in the mid to late seconds. You know, the Arroyos, all the other rookies in that, Ferguson, all went in that, 2.4 to 3.2 range in this draft. So that's kind of where I would have him at. So I'm missing a pretty significant piece for me to move off of Hurts there.
Okay. Chad, can you do better?
I'm still looking. I'll just comment on kind of Austin's thoughts there to begin with. I think as far as Bryce goes in a 10-team league, I'm right where Austin is. He's a second round, early second. He shouldn't be starting on your team in a 10-team league. He should be your QB3. Quarterbacks, even in start twos, where this league is, I mean, really just not a guy you want to be starting week in, week out. So, tough one there, in this format. But, Hurts for me is going to have even more value. So it's going to make this a tougher proposition. I think there has to be a pretty significant other piece added in there if it's going to include Bryce and you're going to price him around that range. Just because the jump from that quarterback is such a massive difference in a league like this.
All right. So we're saying Bryce, a 27 first.
What about?
And it doesn't have to have the first. It's just that's a piece that interests me.
Yeah, no, I want to put that in there for you.
Yeah,
I want
no,
to do that for you.
And I'm trying to not give up pieces for Jesse, who's trying to compete, right? Like, because if you're throwing like JSN and Puka in there, then it kind of hurts his ability to compete, I feel like. So,
Yeah. So, but I'm good with Bryce, the first, Strange, and another piece.
Yeah, but see, then I'm having to drop too many pieces, and that's the negative in this league. Is it's a shallow league.
What if it's a 26 first?
That doesn't do. I mean, I'll take another first, but like in context, because the league is so shallow, you have to think about acquiring too many players. Like, I would rather the first and Strange, if that's what you're asking me. Yes, because then I'm not having to drop another player. Like currently, I would have to drop Isaiah Bond or Woody Marks or Carson Wentz to fit Strange onto my roster. So, that's not any of those players I have any desire to drop.
Really in my eyes, and Austin may disagree here, but if I were Austin and I was trying to figure out a trade here, it would have to be a deal involving either Jackson Smith and Jigba, or if Austin likes Sam Laporta, somebody like that, somebody that has significant value as a elite asset at their position. But that's Jesse giving up points. I understand that. But in this kind of league where the benches are so shallow, where, you can't waste roster spots on potential as much, there's got to be that makeup there if you're giving up an elite guy.
Yeah.
I get what you're
JSN is
saying.
the piece that's come to my head every single time.
Laporta
And-
was the one that I was going to offer
Yeah, he's.
next.
I have McBride, so like
But you have to start too.
sure. And I have Andrews, Ertz to do that with as a 2, and of course he's
Those
an
are
upgrade.
backups.
He's an upgrade, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not a big enough piece for me to go from Hurts to Bryce. It's Hurts is ridiculous in this league. Like,
I mean, we're saying that the first as well.
Yeah.
The 27 first as well.
I mean, he's put up 32. He had the dud in week 2 when the whole Eagles was terrible. 40, 28, and 35. He's literally a plug and play. You don't touch him every week, even when he's not that good. The rushing floor for him just gives him 25 points. So it's not that I feel like I have to move him, but it's somebody that I want to shop because I already lost Burrow. I lost Connor. So, unless I'm going to sell low on Burrow and to contend this year, really this year is basically a wash for me.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think about trading Burrow to me
I would
In this
listen
deal.
for sure.
in this deal? So that would be less than Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot for me because you know how I am with Burrow, but yes, he is cheaper.
Okay.
Well, why would you want Burrow as a contender,
Yeah, that's
Jesse?
Because
Or do you
I'll get
think you're a
Burrow
fake
back.
contender? Okay.
I think I'm a bit of a fake contender, and I'll get Burrow at some point. I think
Yeah.
this team's good enough to make the playoffs, and then hopefully have Burrow. And then if not, I have Burrow next year. It's just been kind of my curse forever is not having an elite quarterback.
Yeah,
I've,
and
I've cycled through a lot of them.
I hear that for sure. And I have May as well, so it gives me a little bit of okay, quote unquote, to move one of the two.
Yeah.
But
right.
it is going to be an offer that I have to be very happy with, to be honest, which is kind of what I prefaced before we started this. Like, JSN was the piece to me that intrigued me enough to want to make a deal. And if you don't want to do that, I understand that.
I'm reluctant to. You know how much I love JSN.
I get it.
Chad, would you do that?
Would I give up JSN?
Yeah, in this deal.
I mean, if you're that worried about quarterback, and I think you have a reason to be, I don't think that's kind of where you're at. I mean, if it's a deal you want to get done, JSN kind of is the piece that makes the most sense.
Maybe you could get Diggs back to
That's
kind of try to replace that. But I understand that's where you're getting the elite
Diggs.
quarterback, getting to an old aged wide receiver and trading that young wide receiver. So that's kind of whether you really want to go in on the season or not is the decision you have to make, I think.
So Bryce Young and JSN, not the 27 first.
Oh, the first would be in there if I'm giving Diggs back, just because I don't think Bryce and JSN
I don't
equal.
need Diggs. I don't even want Diggs. For all the reasons you said with roster spots and whatever, I have a lot of depth on this team at other positions. I'm good. So JSN and Bryce for Hurts. I'm asking. I'm not
Yeah.
offering.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely intriguing. Like I said, it was kind of the price point that I was looking at when you brought this up earlier in the week. But it's not something that just gives me a smash. Partially because I have 5 Bryce shares, and do I want a 6th one? That being said, I do believe it's a fine time to buy him because he's starting to get a healthy receiving core back. That should only help his actual production. But that being said, he is on
Convincing yourself.
no, he's on a short leash with the whole organization, much less with dynasty managers, and this is what I care about.
Chad, would you do it? Would you offer that to him?
I would probably stay where you're at, and wait a little bit longer. I think a deal like that is probably going to still be there, because if I was Austin, I would still be open to it later in the season. But I think you should try to get Diggs, man, to be honest with you.
Or maybe go for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of
That's another one.
Well, there's some history there. I traded him to Austin last last year
That's
for a
last season.
third.
Yeah. I mean, just so what, man? Take your loss, admit you're wrong, and go correct it. I mean, that's.
I mean, what do you want for him?
Bryce Young. Funny thing is I laugh, but I don't think it's very far apart.
I mean, I
don't think it is either.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at.
I think probably consensus would have Daniel Jones over Bryce Young at this point.
Yeah, especially for this year. Jesus.
I think Daniel Jones is pushing like mid-first value at this point.
If I needed a quarterback, I'd probably be offering for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I looked for whenever I was trying to move Wentz, I looked at your roster, Mike, and was like, well, nope, never mind.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard thing with this league, man. It's so shallow that when you get a good pickup, like I picked up Woody Marks and Bond and Gadsden on waivers, and like most of them cheap, and then a player comes back from injury reserve, and you're like, who the heck am I going to cut now? Who the heck am I going to cut?
Well, it's a 10-team league. Yeah, I'm not in too many, but this one's tough sometimes.
Yeah, it's a blast of a league, though. I'm not going to lie. Like,
you wouldn't rather have a tight end?
No.
I think you need one.
No, I think I'm going to go get the Oregon tight end when it comes out this year. My mind just went blank. Sadiq.
I was like, I don't just call the guy it.
No, Kenyon Sadiq. I knew his last name, but I couldn't think of his first name. Kenyon Sadiq.
Like, get that Oregon tight end when it comes out.
I'd rather. All right, we'll table the Bryce Young for Danny Dimes.
Well, it'll be fun bringing up this other trade that we're going to discuss because it's in this league, so the context will be good.
How old is Danny Diamonds, Chad? Since you guys share a birthday.
27 or 28?
28.
28.
Yeah.
That's still young enough. I guess. I'm not doing it. I might do it later. All right.
All right, we have turning. You can smell it if you're listening to the podcast.
We have
Jesse's trying to convince himself right now. He's like, man, it was just a third. It was just a third.
He would have done it if the trade wouldn't have been there. He'd have absolutely done it.
If that trade didn't happen in the past. Sometimes you just gotta suck it up and say, hey man, I was wrong.
Take your L's, man.
Yeah, take your L's and don't double down on them.
I just want you to makes you feel any better, Jesse. The amount of times that I clicked the drop button on Daniel Jones this offseason trying to clear up space and then didn't press it. It just makes me feel a lot better now. Just so you know. I'm telling you, I clicked on it probably 10 times. I was like, nah, A-Rich sucks. There's a good chance Daniel Jones could win this.
Oh, man.
By win this, did you think MVP?
No, I was not expecting that. No.
I'm like, what kind of crazy other dimension are we living in right now? Because I watched a little bit of ESPN and I swear there was like 3 or 4 segments of them talking about Daniel Jones in the MVP race.
You don't get this old and bitter by just letting things go. So that's where I'm at with this trade.
That's true. It's crazy because Daniel Jones is 9 points different than Jalen Hurts so far on the season.
Wow.
Yeah, in this league. So it'll probably be a little different in others, but in this league, they're 9 points apart.
All right, well, we have a lot more show to get to. We have a ton of trades, so why don't we?
Let's do it.
All right, y'all, this is Deal or No Deal. We're going to bring up a trade that actually happened in one of our leagues or in one of the communities that we're in. And then we'll just talk about the value like we always do. And then at the end, we're just going to say it's not Deal or No Deal. I'm sorry. That last segment was Deal or No Deal. This one's called Fire or Fleece. So if we think it's a fair deal, we call it fire. If we think one side was lopsided to one side or the other, we call it a fleece. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, Austin.
First up, we have Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs for Trey Benson, Kenneth Gainwell, and 326 first. And preface, I think 2 of the first are mid and one's definitely a late first. But 2 are borderline playoff teams. There's a good chance that one of them doesn't make the playoffs and the other one does, kind of thing.
Okay. So we're saying like 104, 107, and 110.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's the whole spectrum of picks.
I remember when I saw this trade go down, I was like, what? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, it really is just missing a better running back for Kenneth Gainwell. To me, like, and then of course Benson got hurt, and now it looks a lot worse. But when the trade went down, initially you get in JT and Gibbs, like I feel like you got to just give up so much. And 3, we'll call them playoff first, and 2 backup running backs is not a lot. It feels like
Benson's not a backup running back. He's a starting running back.
No, he's a backup running back, but that's a different discussion.
Legitimately a backup running back.
Yeah.
Because the starting running back is hurt as well.
Yeah. And he plays like one too, but that's a whole different.
Man, the guy hasn't even really gotten his chance yet. He's been pretty good.
When?
This year.
Where? He is not good one time.
He didn't look good.
No.
He didn't look good.
No. He's just not good, and I hate it, but he's an average
There's
NFL
still
running back.
There's still time.
Yeah.
There's
still
time.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're judging him way too early.
He reminds me of Chase Brown.
He hasn't looked good, but there is time.
Yeah, I was thinking about your Chase Brown hate the other day too. I don't know where that comes from. He's a pretty good back.
He's average.
No, he's good.
If the offense is good, he's good.
He's good.
If the offense is not good, he's not good. It's what he's shown his whole career.
I mean, that's like
his whole
80% of running backs, though.
I agree. Absolutely.
I was about to say that's Saquon Barkley.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We've watched the Giants be terrible, and Saquon
he was still
looked
good.
insane.
He's in a bad offense this year, and he's bad.
I don't know that he's bad. I
Yeah.
think he's just not getting as much opportunity. But, yeah, I mean,
That's what happens at bad offenses.
So fleece get fire, guys.
Yeah,
honestly, I'll take the 2 running back side all day.
Yeah. Chad?
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. Yeah, the Taylor Gibbs side is substantially better.
Who do we? All right, so you say it has to be a better running back than Trey or than Gainwell.
Yeah, somebody I felt good about. Like, it doesn't have to be a big piece, but somebody
Monty.
I had some excitement about. If I'm getting all the first, I don't want Monty. I want a younger guy.
Chuba?
Sure, that's
Was
better.
that
Yeah,
too much? Or
no, that's kind of where somebody I can actually feel some kind of confidence in.
Or did
I'm not
Chuba
going to
get
lie.
usurped?
Take those running backs out and give me 2 more firsts. Like, I mean, I don't know.
27 and a 28.
Jonathan Taylor looks like the best back in the league. Jameer Gibbs, you can make an argument, is the best young back in the league. Yeah. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying you can make an argument.
Of course.
So
he either is or he's second.
Yeah. So I'm not giving that up for anything less than 5 first.
Yeah, and this was the week Benson was the starter. So, like, it was as soon as Connor got hurt, Benson had the clear path, and he did look pretty decent after Connor got hurt that game.
Yeah.
So there was some excitement there, and Gainwell had just come off that big week too. So I understand why the guy did it, but to me it looks like the perfect time to sell both of those running backs and 3 mid to late first and get 2 of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you completely changed your entire roster in one trade by really not giving up much.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you didn't take a starter out of your roster to get 2 of the best players in the league.
that's what I like to do when I'm contending.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be able to do that as a thing. Like, Taylor and Gibbs, they should be borderline unobtainable.
Yeah.
I think the team's in last place. That's why. Last place are really close to it. So,
yeah.
So it's missing I think it's missing a Travion instead of Gainwell.
Yeah. Harvey was the name that initially came to my head. Somebody that I could see have a big boom. Travion would be good considering what we've seen so little. So that also makes sense too.
All right. So we're all saying fleeced?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Because that's a really good transition into our next trade.
Yeah. Next trade here, we've got RJ Harvey for Dylan Gabriel and Justin Fields. Yikes.
This is a listener league trade, actually.
Is it? Oh, yeah, I see that. Oh, crap. Sorry. Who wants
All
to
right.
start on this one?
I want Mike to start
I
because
was gonna
I
say,
want to
just-
hear RJ Harvey. Tell me what I haven't seen.
He's really fast and explosive and the clear number 2. But Dobbins is just getting a majority of the rushing work. But Harvey's starting to take over a little bit more on third down, and he's had some really great plays. This was a thing where just for context, right? I mean, I have 5 quarterbacks in this league, including the 2 that are on here, and I'm
Oh,
towards
I
the
forgot this was your trade.
and I'm towards the bottom of the league, and I can't fill flexes anymore because of how many injuries I have. So RJ Harvey seems like a great flex. Plus, league format, I'm helping the guy in my division in case I end up at the bottom. So
That's right.
So it's just for the 2 dart throws. Like, I don't think Justin Fields is long for the league, to be honest, from what I've seen this year. And who knows about Dylan Gabriel, but to get RJ Harvey, I feel like is a pretty good deal. I wouldn't be shocked if Dobbins got hurt.
Dang.
Just for context for the listeners that don't know, a quick synopsis here. The listener league, you get relegated if you finish in last. There's 2 divisions. You get relegated if you finish in last place of the division that the champion doesn't come out of.
Yep. It's chaotic, to say the least.
That's why it makes weird trades like this.
That's right.
I thought it was a great trade. You know, I've insisted that Justin Fields was worth a late first for the last, I don't know, since the offseason started, really. And I just haven't seen it anywhere. And then RJ Harvey was actually a late first in rookie drafts. So now I've finally seen it. It took another starting quarterback to get it done. Just nobody believes in Dylan Gabriel. So, I mean, I think it's nice for Dallas was the other side of the street. I think it's nice for Dallas that he does get a little bit of insurance because of all the injuries and whatnot, that he can plug Gabriel in if he needs to. But yeah, I thought it was dead even. I thought it was really good. And I do agree with Mike that there's a chance that Fields could be out of the league or as a backup by this time next year. But there's a chance that RJ Harvey never hits. So I think there's upside and downside for both sides.
I would just argue Harvey's done more than Travion this year. So, and considering where I know at least you have Travion Austin, like, it's like the numbers don't lie that much. So,
and we can't forget too, like, the hype for RJ Harvey got pretty crazy this offseason. I mean, it wasn't just like he was a late first the entire time. I mean, he was getting up to 103, 104 consensus for a little bit there.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to dig Harvey. I just wanted I haven't watched enough Broncos, so I wanted to ask what I was missing with what's happened.
I think best case scenario, it ends up like Diggs and Montgomery, where Dobbins is more the Montgomery, and then maybe Harvey gets up there a little bit more as he gets more work. But I haven't seen anything bad from Harvey yet.
Okay.
So, question about the Denver backfield, Mike. Yes, and it does seem like he's a rookie that's just being worked in, learning his place in the league. But about the third running back, because it made me turn my head a couple of times when I heard them say his name. Can you say it for me?
Yeah, it's bidet. Sounds like
it really bidet? Like,
it's literally the butt cleaning, washer.
I mean, I always thought it was like Tyler Batty.
Yeah, as we did too, but he corrected
bidet.
everyone last year.
Okay, well, the announcer was saying it right then. He was working in on some third downs.
Yeah, it's been weird. Like, first game, he was worked in a lot, and then next game, he didn't get like any work. So it's just kind of Sean Payton weirdo stuff going on there. But
gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah,
might just be about the week of practice that these guys have.
Yeah, maybe
stuff that we don't see.
Knowing Sean Payton.
All right, so Chad, fleeced or fire?
I'll just go fire.
Austin.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly enough either way.
Just say fair then. I don't know if fleeced or fair.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll take the quarterbacks because at least I get 2 chances, but it's fine.
I say fire. A fair trade is a fire trade.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
Go with that.
All right.
All right.
I got the next one. So Devontae Adams for Jaden Reed and a 2027 second.
I like it. I mean, obviously, the Jaden Reed side has to be a rebuilder, and the Devontae Adams side has to be a contender. Is it too much for Devontae Adams, Austin?
It is for me, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't even think the person getting Reed in the second has to be a rebuilder. They just have to be a really good team. I would sell on my biggest contenders. I would sell Adams for Reed in a second, because it's not going to get more than that.
Do you think it's more like Reed or the second?
Yeah, realistically, and you may have to throw a little more on top of there. One of those dart throw guys that the player likes. Like for me, Kyle Williams in the second. That's kind of what I would be looking for. But Jaden Reed, I mean, we've seen wide receiver 1 numbers from him. He just happens to be hurt at the beginning of the season.
In stretches, I mean, not for a whole year.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's a lot for me. But I guess if that's what you need to help you win a championship, it's worth it. But to do that before week 5 is a lot.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm like struggling with this team because that had Adams, because I think I'm a pretender with a lot of older, typical Mike team with a lot of older guys on it. But I'm still like winning and having random guys go off. So I'm like, man, do I sell? Do I throw it all in? Or, what do I do? So that was just an opportunity to be like, okay, get rid of some of my depth and get some draft capital just in case this thing goes real south by 2027.
This does feel like a Mike trade, actually.
This is how Mike saves his really old rosters, getting trades done like this. Because there's a real chance that week 12 to 17, Jaden Reed outscores Devontae Adams. And then you get a free second on top of it. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. This is exactly how Mike saves all his old teams, is getting trades done just like this.
I mean, when they're close to being done, you just got to sell them to the contender at the right time. And he was desperate for a wide receiver that week, which, funny enough, he was playing me and I ended up beating him this week. So
that is a really Mike move right
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Chad, any thoughts?
Nah, I mean, I really like the Jaden Reed side. I think it's pretty obvious Devontae Adams is not long for this league.
All right, so we all say fleeced.
Fleece.
Fleeced. Okay. All right, next we have Trey Harris and a 2027 first for George Pickens and a 2027 second. Somebody really believes in Trey Harris.
I mean, do you want me to preface this, or do you want to act like this was this week?
Yeah.
This was after week 1.
It was?
Yeah, I was wondering why you put it in here, because it's not that strong now. But yeah, I made the trade.
You shouldn't have blown me up.
I received the 27 first and Trey Harris for Pickens in the second. Obviously, now I wish I wouldn't have given the second up.
Yeah.
But that being said, hopefully the first is mid to save me.
I still don't think it's crazy.
I thought it said October
crazy.
2nd. I thought it said October 2nd. My eyes are terrible.
It's all good.
Lamb's about to come back. I mean, you don't know how the Pickens, rest of the season is going to end up with Lamb there. Obviously he's looked really, really good, and it's a great time to sell him now. Probably going to get a little bit more, but I mean, I don't think it's crazy. You're still getting the first there. I think that's the important part.
Yeah. I'm still not mad at the trade. It just doesn't feel as good as it did when it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, if you break it down, Trey Harris is worth a second, right? And then Pickens is worth,
he's worth more than a first currently.
You're getting a first for Pickens, I think, is good.
I would want a first and a second. I think probably, first week into the break, into like kind of that breakout when Lamb was gone. That's kind of when I was like, okay, I think most people would give up a first for him. Now I think it's got to be a little bit more.
Yeah, it's going to be more than that. Anybody that has Pickens to this point believes in him. They've held on to him, and he's wide receiver 5 or 6 on the season. And
I honestly think he's a buy, like at this point, because even when Lamb and it might be like a buy once Lamb comes back, because there's the prospect that maybe we do see a little bit of a regression compared to what he was doing when Lamb first exited, or what he's doing now. But it's a contract year. Like he could find himself as a wide receiver 1 on any number of teams in the league with no CeeDee Lamb there. So I really, really like George Pickens. I think he's only shown what he can do his entire NFL career. He's just, got to stop being a knucklehead and maybe he will.
Yeah, he's still only 24. I mean, there's plenty of avenues where he's gained substantial value, especially if he keeps producing this year. I mean, he absolutely could.
All right, I guess I'm too low on Pickens. All right, Austin, you want to go?
I didn't know if we were fleecing the fire.
Yeah,
No, I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say fire.
Yeah,
Fire.
fire, really?
Yeah,
no, that's a fleece.
I like it for both. But
I like it for both too.
All right. Well, based on what you guys said, we should take out the 27 second.
Yeah,
Trey Harris and a 27 first.
Yeah, but I think that's what most people would go for now. But if you like Trey Harris, I mean, I don't think it's a crazy trade. I think it's pretty fair.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go fire just because I'm the one that put it on the sheet.
All right. Next, we have Colston Loveland and a 26th third for Cam Scadaboo, Elijah Arroyo, and a 26th fifth.
I probably could have left the fifth out of there. Just not
Yeah.
that relevant.
That's pretty good.
Loveland and a third for Scadaboo and Arroyo.
Jesse, I want your opinion first. You're the Arroyo fan here.
Yeah, I'll take that side.
Okay.
I mean, what the hell has Loveland shown?
yeah, that's true. That's what I'm
That he can't
struggling
really
with.
beat out Komet and that he's hurt. And I mean, he may still be an excellent player, but his value isn't in this, isn't what this trade says it is.
But I mean, a little bit of context here. Like Arroyo hasn't shown much. Cam Scadaboo has most of his production has been garbage production. Tracy's coming back, so we still don't know what that looks like with Tracy back this week. And also Loveland is a tight end. Like, we've had some tight ends step in year 1 and look great, but we've also had some elite tight ends step in year 1 and not look great. So I'm still willing to stick with the Loveland side. Loveland's an elite prospect. Don't even have to go that far back with McBride and see how that turned out.
Yeah. So I want to say
Sure.
Komet does have an out after this year and only cost them $3.2 million that they can stretch over 2 years. So,
But Cam is this cult hero. He scored the game-winning touchdown last week.
I mean, sure, but when a team has to build contracts,
He didn't. He didn't.
Well, for the
score.
Saints.
We got beat
No,
by the
no,
Saints.
Kom-
By the
For the
Saints.
Saints, he scored it for the Saints.
Oh, Cam. I said
Oh,
Komet.
Cam Scadaboo.
I
Yeah.
said Komet has an out.
Cam. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I want to ask what Chad feels about is Scadaboo a sell? Like, is he a must sell before this week, or?
I
Are you
mean,
good?
where you don't need him, I would sell him. If you need him, then
Well, I mean, I own a contender. Are you comfortable selling him for another piece that, maybe he's a little bit older, but you feel good about still? Or is he still, you think, can get enough production?
it's just up in the air. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, I don't want to sell him for an old piece and just get 1 year of production, because I think Scadaboo, there's a chance he gives you production this year. It's just up in the air, right? So if I'm going to sell him, I think he's a hot enough name at this point where you can get an older prospect. We mentioned, a guy like Stephon Diggs, who still has the potential for high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1 even production this season, and a pick or something, right? Like, Scadaboo is a pretty hot name. I don't know long term how this is going to work out with the injury history, with him taking the kind of shots he's taken, which are, I mean, pretty incredible hits he's taken pretty consistently. And then also the team does like Tracy. So we're going to have to see how that kind of shakes out for the rest of the year.
I like the Cam side, just to defend my side real quick. And then Mike, I know we need to hear from you, but he's just like Chad said, he's such a hot name. He's got such high value right now. He does things that excite people. And then, you see Cam Scadaboo in a game and you want to go trade for him. So I like having the hot name and just a player that I think is going to just retain his value through the year just because of his like cult status. And he's going to have a role, even if they like Tracy or not. Cam's going to play and he's going to produce, I think. And then you have Arroyo, who they're starting to work in at this point. He's had a couple of long catches and they are using him outside. Like they said they were going to use him, like putting him in at an X and then moving him around a little bit. So I like that. And then Loveland's value is just going to go down. I feel like for the rest of this year, I understand it could absolutely rebound, but I just like the value that I could play around with it and maybe get a little more.
I feel like this is like the low point for Loveland.
I was going to say that was going to be my argument. Is I think this is the lowest it's ever going to.
I think
get
you're
for
selling him
Loveland.
at his lowest. Like
Yeah.
this, it's not
Which I
really
don't
going to
like.
get much lower than this.
Which I don't like doing with prospects that were taken as high as they were. So
This is how you miss out on even his teammate Roma Dunze, right? Like you have an elite prospect that is just not looking good year one for obvious reasons. With Rome, it was quarterback play and the uncatchable passes, and with Loveland, it's just he's got a player ahead of him that they really trust, but that player is probably more than likely going to be gone next year. So I think if you're taking Loveland, you knew going into it, like, hey, this is probably not a guy we're relying on for early production. Just don't forget that plan, stick with it and say, hey, okay, I need to hold on to this guy. I know what kind of player he is.
I understand what you're saying, but when you say you're selling low on his value, you're getting a player that was taken 3 or 4 picks later in the rookie draft in Cam and who has produced, and then another player that was taken in tight end premium leagues at the end of the second. So you're getting 2 shots at that. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Jesse, but also get what Chad's saying. I would be on Chad's side, but I understand Jesse's argument too.
In this trade, the value hasn't really fallen that low.
I mean, you're basically moving a late first for a mid-second and a late second.
And I think the late first is kind of like, in a lot of people's eyes, Loveland was the tier break. He was the last like potential elite player.
Yeah.
Before a pretty substantial drop.
Yeah, I get both sides. I think it's a fine trade. I'll take Loveland personally, but it's a fine trade.
Same.
All right. Well, I'll go fire for sure.
Yeah. Fire for sure.
Yeah, fire.
I'm gonna go fleece on this one. this is just honest for me. I just don't think Scatabo is gonna hold much value. I think this is you're selling Scatabo or you're buying Scatabo high right now.
Okay.
Cool.
This next one had a chance to be a trade banger this week. If Nabers wasn't in.
You up, Chad?
If Nabers wasn't in it.
Oh, yeah. So this one is Malik Nabers, 2026 second and 2027 second for Justin Jefferson.
Also a listener league trade.
It is. Between 2 of us.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think of this?
I mean, number one, I just think it's definitely fire. I'm not really sure. I really honestly have no idea which side I wanted this trade because there's all the questions around Jefferson and quarterback, Wentz. I mean, golly, but at least he's healthy, right? But then Nabers is elite, and we just had a big old conversation about what seconds can do for you, right? So being able to get 2 of those on top is great. Like we just had so much outlook that how Nabers could move up to closer to that Jefferson tier, and so the injury really sucks. But to get 2 seconds on top of it, like I think it's really great for both sides. I really do.
Yeah, me and Chad went back and forth for literally the moment. I think as we ended the pod last week, I sent the trade offer, and we kind of discussed it back and forth this whole week. And this is where we landed. I obviously wanted a little bit more. He didn't want to give up the second, and we kind of just met in the middle there.
I was going to say, were you fishing more for a first?
No, I never tried that. That's what I wanted, and I had a couple people tell me that's what I should ask, especially given the league context of what can happen for both people. But at the end of the day, what kind of made me do it is he's in my division, and he's towards the top of my division. So him getting Jefferson helps me out as well. It can help me, stay where I want to be in the draft slots and in the league for that matter. So, doing that kind of was the final outcome of, the trade is fair. But, getting that possible positional gain helped.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah, that's how I saw it when we initially started discussing it. I didn't say as much, but in my eyes, the more likely scenario for you to survive in the league, if our division, if a winner's going to come out of our division, it's either me or one other team. So that's probably the most likely scenario for you to stay in. I think Jefferson's probably not going to help you stay out of the bottom at this point. Just being realistic. So I would have done it if I were you. Honestly, I think Malik Nabers in a second is fair, and mid-second is fair. I think Malik Nabers in 2 seconds is fair considering league context. So that's where I was at. He wanted a little bit more. I, at that point, was like, no, this is my compromise.
Yeah, he just declined it. And it was like, nope, this is all I got. So I took a day or two and sent it back, and he's like, all right, cool, this will work.
I really like it for both sides. I said it in the chat when it came through. I think it's dead even. You have to pay a premium with Nabers being out. That's just how it goes. You have to get a player that's producing, or that we've seen produce at an elite level. Wentz doesn't really scare me all that much because he may be a terrible quarterback, but one thing we know is he's got a strong arm and he will sling it. So Jeff just ate just fine in that last game.
He still got 20 points last week.
Yeah, exactly. So Wentz doesn't scare me at all. In fact, I'm more scared of McCarthy coming back, to be honest.
Yeah, that's where I was at too. Like, Justin Jefferson's not the safest prospect this season. If McCarthy comes back, it could get really ugly. So I feel like there was better players for me to go out there and try to get if I was going to actually spend more than what this is. So
yeah, that's fair.
Right on. Chad texted me last night before he made this trade because he wanted other options. He was looking at other players, fallback plans.
Yeah, he told me that, which had me tilting.
Yeah,
I was talking to like 5 different people. No, it wasn't a tactic. I was literally just being straight up with everybody. Like, hey, I've got a couple big trades that I'm considering, and it was Austin, and there was another big trade that I was talking to somebody about. And if that didn't work, that I was going to consider some smaller trades. So I messaged some other people, text a few people, and was like, hey, where do you value your guys? And I'll let you know if I see it the same way, and we could potentially get something done if one of these 2 trades falls, or if both these trades fall through. So everybody was pretty great about it too. So
yeah, it was fun.
I kind of like that. That strategy. I might use that more in the future. Just, if I'm working on a couple of different trades, just messaging some other people too and being like, hey, I've got some big options here. I don't want to waste your time, but how do you view these guys, just so that I know ahead of time I can come back and send you a good offer that you think would be fair.
Yeah. Making communications in trade negotiations to me is so important. Unless you know the manager really well, it's hard to send a blind offer and expect a good response. So I'm somebody that loves to message, even it might be after the offer. It could be before, but I love communication because to me, that's how you find a middle ground. I know some people don't like it at all, but I am someone that's really pro communication in trade discussions.
I actually tried to make a trade with your boy VIP Matt this week.
Good luck.
Message with him.
I hope he's in the chat just so I can hear. He can hear me.
I think it's still sitting out there. To be honest with you, I think he went.
That's a shocker.
He just went absolutely cold on me. Oh well.
Yeah, it happens.
All right. Yeah, we all have fire on that one, right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right. I don't even know who's up.
It's Mike.
Oh, it is me. Okay, I wasn't sure. All right. So we got Caleb Williams, Bucky Irving, and a 2027 second for Jalen Hurts, Travis Etienne, and Luther Burden.
So for context, this is that league we discussed on Deal or No Deal. This is the deal that I turned down last Sunday morning.
Oh.
I just couldn't pull the trigger. I told you, like I said, it's hard for me to move off of Hurts in that league. He's so safe.
Is
so
it
I'm curious.
Caleb that was the problem?
Not necessarily. It was just the thought of losing Hurts, man. He's literally, it feels like the safest thing in any league I'm in. I don't have to look at that QB spot as long as he's not on bye. It's just an automatic, what feels like an average of 30 points per game.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get rid of that in that league.
I've got Lamar and Josh in the same league. And
Yeah,
it's
man.
the same feeling.
It's crazy. It's such a good feeling. So tearing down, even though I'm getting Bucky, which is great, just the tear down and the risk of me having to then spend each week who I'm going to start just doesn't feel as comfortable.
It might be great. Bucky's whole deal could be just tragic at this point. It's an quote unquote exotic foot injury. Sounds like he's out for the rest of the regular season.
Oh, really?
Well,
What?
they said he's not out for the year, which tells me he's out for like most of the year.
He's not on IR though, is he?
No, I heard he was
he's
coming
not
back
on
next week.
IR.
Yeah,
Next week?
I thought it was a week
Yeah.
or two is what I saw.
Okay.
And that was the last piece is we hadn't heard what the injury was yet. Like
Yeah.
I'd heard foot, and then I also heard he was recovering the shoulder. So that was the other little last thing Sunday that kind of held me off of doing it.
This is the thing with Bucky, though, that scares me.
I mean, it's every running back ever.
If that was a 27 first instead of a second, would you have done it?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's what I feel like it almost should be.
Yeah. All three of y'all, when I asked y'all, said you preferred the Hurt side, but it
No, I
felt like a
didn't.
really good trade.
I prefer the Caleb side.
Okay. Okay, my fault. It does feel like a really good trade. It just felt risky, so I didn't pull the trigger. So if y'all want to convince me to do it, sorry, Jesse, but, I'll go send it to him instead.
No, I don't think you're getting nearly enough.
I think it's an even deal. I prefer the Caleb side just because I like Bucky a lot more than I like Travis Etienne by quite a bit. So I think the safety in a smaller league like that going forward, I think is important to me, and I just feel better about Bucky. Caleb, I think has looked fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, but like you said, if Hurts makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, and you like that safety going forward, then I completely understand it. It can go either way. If I had to pick a side, would probably go the Caleb side.
Okay.
I think I said it at the time when you put it in the chat. If I'd rather have the elite quarterback side than the elite running back side. Now, I'm not convinced that Caleb is anywhere near elite. He's had some good weeks, but Hurts has shown that he's an elite fantasy producer.
Okay. Sweet.
Still fire trade.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
say
absolutely. Yeah, fire. I'll say fire. Even though you turned it down and it isn't even a real trade.
So it's funny. I sent it first. He turned it down. And then we were discussing stuff, and then he sent the exact same trade back, and then I turned it down. So
Had that
it would have
happen
been
once or
completed.
twice.
Yeah, it would have been completed, but I just didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, I think Caleb looks like he's going to be an elite quarterback, and I was probably the biggest
You were,
detractor
for
going
sure.
into the season. I've watched every Bears game. He looks really, really good. Like, as much as everybody's hyping up Drake May, Caleb Williams looks just as impressive to me.
Yeah. Drake looks really good. I got to watch the whole game when he played Carolina. He looked really good.
Yeah.
Super comfortable in the pocket. Laser beams where they need to be. It was impressive to watch.
Caleb Williams is right now on pace for 3,900 yards and 30 touchdowns.
I will absolutely take that for every year 2 quarterback in existence.
Still wouldn't give the Bears a 4,000-yard passer.
No, that'd be awesome. I hope he finishes at like 39.95. That'd be really cool.
All right, so we all
It's
get
me,
that one
yeah.
fire. Okay.
Next up is Justin Herbert and Malik Nabers for C.J. Stroud, Brian Thomas, Travion Henderson, and a 26-second. If I need to say that again, tell me. There's a lot there, but I'll just go ahead and say it. Justin Herbert, Malik Nabers, C.J. Stroud, Brian Thomas, Travion Henderson, and a 26-second.
There's unquestionably the Herbert and Nabers side for me. I'll go ahead and say it's a fleece.
I don't know. I feel like this is the lowest Stroud, Brian Thomas, and Travion
That's exactly
could
why
ever be.
I agree totally.
And like, so like, what if one of them say goes back to an elite level they were at one point, or reaches that elite level? Then does that make it worth it? Golly.
Yeah, I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute banger.
Yeah, it's definitely a banger.
It is a banger.
I think it's probably the best trade we've talked about so far.
Yeah.
The Stroud part kills it for me. That's the whole thing.
I'm telling you, man, the last 3 weeks he has looked better. Last week he looked phenomenal. But last 3 weeks he's looked better.
Who did they play this week?
So the Raiders or?
I guess they have Crosby. I mean, it's just any team without a pass rush, without a dominant pass rush. I guess they'll have a chance.
I mean, that's fair too. It feels like a really good trade. I'd love to see what y'all think. I mean, which side would you prefer? Because I couldn't decide. A friend of mine sent it to me. He said, "Which side do you like?" I said, "Dude, I have no idea. Like I've sat here for 30 minutes thinking about it. I don't know what I would prefer."
Gosh. Yeah, I might just take the dice roll and just do the Stroud side. I feel like one of those three is going to produce at an elite level at some point. If they all don't, then that kind of sucks. But
yeah, I would go with the Herbert and Nabers side. But if I was in a rebuild, which I mean, it's kind of scratched, it's kind of nicked because of the Malik Nabers injury. But let's pretend for a second that didn't happen. I think that's like a perfect like rebuild trade. Like, hey, give me CJ Stroud, Brian Thomas, Travion Henderson, all, struggling a little bit this season. CJ Stroud a little bit less so the last couple weeks. But, Nabers and Herbert, to me, the ceiling is just higher than any of the players on the other side.
That's where I'm at.
But Brian Thomas is not far off from a talent perspective. Travion Henderson, if he pans out, is going to be has elite potential, and then CJ Stroud, I don't think is a crazy distance from Justin Herbert.
So I think we feel that Herbert's had a much better year, but in a regular 6-point passing league, no other specials, they're 5 points apart on the season.
Wow.
So 1 point per game, and Stroud's 3.5 years younger.
Yeah, the protection issues have popped up for Herbert the last 2 weeks. Hasn't really been.
There's been more injuries. Yeah.
It's definitely. I'm worried about starting Chargers now. This week they play Miami, so I'm not worried. But going forward after that, they're going to need to get some guys healthy.
Yeah.
I just like in the one thing that I really, really like is that the tougher games that the Chargers have been in, they've gone out there and thrown the ball. I think their schedule has been real easy this first part of the season. So as it gets tougher going into the later stages of the season, I think they're going to start throwing a bit more, which I like. CJ Stroud has just kind of had those like outlier games, which is kind of propping him up because we have such a small sample size at this point. We've just seen a little bit more erratic play from him. That 43-point game is just kind of floating him up there a little bit. In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too.
And I just think Herbert is so much more talented. It's just not even close to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm definitely pro Herbert.
I would love to see Nico with Herbert. Obviously the weapons are better in Houston.
I don't know about that.
No, I wouldn't say they are.
Yeah,
I think the Chargers
just because
who
of
else
Nico.
does he have? But I mean, you got Ladd, Quentin Johnston, and Keenan Allen.
True.
Yeah, just Nico.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just think the Houston guys are starting to mix and match to turn into some sort of
I mean, it's a talented wide receiver
Voltron. Yeah.
It should
Voltron
be at least
of a wide receiver room.
Should be.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Chargers look like they have, and this is just thus far in the season. But if we're talking about how they look so far in the season, Chargers have an argument for the best positional group out there in the league right now. Like Keenan Allen has looked like a top 10 wide receiver. Quentin Johnston has looked like a top 10 wide receiver. Ladd has struggled, but we know what he's capable of. So I really like what they got going on there. If Ladd can pick his game up a little bit, that's going to be a really, really scary offense.
Yeah, and if we can see
bounce back
Gadsden,
week,
I think they're going
some
to
run too.
I think they're going to have to with no running
Yeah.
backs now.
Yeah.
When you lose your top 2 running backs, like
Oh yeah, that's
be
unfortunate.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladd had a punt return touchdown called back this week.
Yeah, I
And,
saw that.
Yeah, he looks so electric doing it too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you,
Hopefully they
there's nothing wrong
don't put him out there too often.
Yeah,
I was like, no,
I
don't do
agree.
it that good, man. Like trip or something, dude.
Well, he just somebody held for him, so it didn't
Yeah.
count. All right, these last 2 were actually sent to me. So there were actually friends of mine that asked me for advice, and we'll see what you guys think.
Chad.
Patrick Mahomes for Joe Burrow, a 26 second and 26 third.
I'll just say I tried to do this actually in another league. Not exact same trade, but I offered Joe Burrow in 2 seconds, and he wouldn't do it without a first to get to Mahomes.
For Mahomes?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Mahomes' value is starting to bounce back. This is a friend of mine that is in a situation where he's not able to hold on with. I think he had Russ that he was starting, and now obviously he has no one, so he's at the point where he kind of needs to make a trade. I told him to go ahead and do it. He was the one with Burrow. It felt a little hefty for me, but I told him to go ahead and do it because he really didn't have any other prospects.
Yeah, I'd do that to get Mahomes, to be honest.
Yeah, especially
So-
if it's something where you're contending and you need
Yeah.
the plus.
Yeah, the rest of his roster is really good.
Yeah.
He's really ready to roll otherwise. So
Yeah, I
I
would
told him,
definitely
you
do
know
that.
what? For a second and third, you're still going to have an elite quarterback. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I think this has been one of the most overlooked things this season. And I understand like the Mahomes hype because he's looked really good. The defenses he's playing are trash.
Yes.
They're some of the worst defenses in the league, and it's going to continue up until week 8. And then after that, it gets really, really tough. So I'm interested to see how that goes. This is just reading off the teams here. The Chargers, who've been in multiple shootouts now, even with the Giants. Philly, who has been in multiple shootouts now. The Giants, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Detroit, Vegas, and Washington. That's all through week 8. I mean, that's a cake schedule from a defensive
I
perspective.
don't
Baltimore's
think the Jags are cake for anybody.
Yeah, the Jags
right now.
defense has been pretty good.
Jags defense has been
Yeah.
really good.
They're getting scored on like some of the they're like one of the most scored on defenses in fantasy right now.
Well, they also have the most turnovers in the league.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about from a fantasy perspective. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the defense, Baltimore's defense has so many
Yeah.
injuries that they
Yeah.
just can't stop anyone at any time.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
We'll
I'd
see.
be really curious to see because he's looked really good and he's going to get Rice back very soon, which means he only should look better.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to trade for him where I lost Burrow in a league or two that I'm still contending big time. And it's been about that price point is what they're looking at. So I'll probably make the move here soon.
So
I might put it out again to try to make it happen for me.
It's a fire trade. I'm good with it.
yeah, it's fire.
Fire.
Yeah, do you like it from the Mahomes, like trading Mahomes away for Burrow in a second and a third if you're not contending?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I like it a lot, actually. I would rather have Burrow in a vacuum. If both are healthy, I'd rather have Burrow.
Yeah, I think they're about dead even, assuming both are healthy. I would prefer Burrow, but there is going to be that point, as we discussed when the injury happened, that dynasty managers are like, he could get hurt again. He could get hurt again. He could get hurt again anytime his name comes up. So
Yeah.
he's going to be a little bit cheaper until we see some health consistently from him.
I just wanted to look it up to make sure I'm not crazy. Jacksonville is ranked as 11. So quarterbacks quarterbacks have scored or quarterbacks against their defense.
Okay. Mike, send us
All right.
home.
Yeah, Mike, close us out.
All right. So we got Jalen Waddle for DeAndre Swift, a 2026 second and 2026 fourth.
Smash Waddle.
I was going to say Waddle.
He is
quite a
going
bit
to
for
be
me
ridiculous
with no
the rest of the
Tyreek
season.
there.
Yeah. He felt like the first read for receiver almost every play watching last week's game. Now, obviously, they fed Waller in the first half, but if there was a receiver in there, it just felt like it was Waddle every time.
Yeah.
But for locked and loaded, starting RB.
Yeah.
And then you're getting a second on top of it.
That doesn't do it for me.
Chad, what do you think?
No, I mean, it's pretty easily the Waddle side for me. I think.
How much more
need to get a
runway does
first.
Swift have? Yeah.
I think you probably need to get a first for Waddle if you're trading him at this point.
Yeah. Feels like I agree. And Swift's not going to gain value at this point. He's
I'll pick
just
either.
Not ever.
Yeah.
I
So
don't see
No,
it.
it feels like a
All right.
first and Swift for me is where I would
he's
be.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
First,
Swift,
alright.
Swift is not really.
That's way too much.
Why? He's not. You don't feel great starting him.
Swift has been.
I'm-
I mean, he's been so bad.
Yeah.
I'm just not paying more than a first for Waddle is what I'm saying.
They're not getting them from people. He has as
Yeah,
good an
now.
opportunity as most people to be a top 10 receiver the rest of the season. Outside of the obvious is like Puka, names like that. He's
Man.
going to get force-fed targets.
All right, so if you're going to say that, then you have to move 2 up in your rankings.
Okay,
Like,
he'll
you
go
have
to 20. That's fine.
No, seriously, if he's going to produce a top 10 receiver, then he's going to be a top.
I mean, I've watched
The
15
32nd
guys.
ranked quarterback can produce a top 12 wide
Yeah.
receiver.
Anybody can do that.
If they're hyper targeted, anybody can be
Mm.
a top 12 wide receiver.
Look at Trevor Lawrence last year. Look at whoever the quarterback was for the Giants last year with Nabers. I mean, it can absolutely happen. And the quarterback still not be good for fantasy, which Tua was good for fantasy last week.
Look at
For the
all
last
of
couple weeks.
look at
He's been good.
every quarterback
He is
DeAndre
good
Hopkins ever
for
had in his
fantasy.
career.
Yeah, right.
Well, Tua is good for fantasy, so you should move him up. That's what I'm saying. It should be like 10.
Oh,
10?
No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, in a couple weeks, I'm going to go ahead
You
and tease.
first, yeah.
We'll get to do the rankings up and downs, and
Mm.
we'll see where I have Tua.
All right.
He scored a lot of points against the Panthers.
He did. Not enough, though.
All right, Jim, you fleeced. That was my buddy actually contacted me and asked me, should I trade this for Waddle? I said, yes, absolutely. Get Waddle for that. So
Yeah.
good job,
Yeah.
Jim. You fleeced.
Great
Good
job.
Good
job.
advice.
Good job.
All right, we done here?
We're done.
All right. Oh, no, overtime. You guys watch anything good? Do anything good? Have any fun? Or has it just been all work and torture?
All work, no
torture.
play.
I watched more of that series that what is it called? Risk or something? Task. That's what it's called. I mentioned it last week. I was like, I know it's one 4-letter word, Task. But yeah, still really good. I finished the last episode. That's out. I don't know if a new one comes out today or sometime this week, but I think they're 5 episodes in or something like that. But really, really good series. You guys should definitely check it out. Kind of reaffirming that this week.
All right. In my notes already. I didn't watch anything. I've watched the Phillies lose to the Dodgers. It's awful. Baseball needs to do something about this layoff. If you win the division, it's like a punishment.
Hmm.
But I don't want to talk about baseball. I was
Me neither.
dragged to a
I don't think anybody does anymore.
no. That's the least popular podcast subject. I was dragged to a pumpkin patch on Saturday. When's the last time you guys have had to do one of those?
Austin,
went-
stop
I
making
went-
everybody go to pumpkin patches, man.
Yeah, I
Austin,
went
you like
Saturday.
this?
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Yeah, I went Saturday. It was cool.
Austin dragged
Got to do a
Jesse to a pumpkin
hayride.
patch. That's what I got out of this.
Yeah, hayride, had some apple cider. Got to look at a bunch of pumpkins.
Is it
Did a
your
corn
thing, or
maze?
is it like your girl's thing, or is it just kind of like a mutual?
I mean, it's her thing, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's something
Oh,
that I
cool.
enjoy.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, for
something
sure.
like I get drugged to, like Jesse said. No, I enjoy it. It's cool.
I was dragged. I was told to have wagons for your pumpkins now. I was told to get a wagon because we're getting that many pumpkins. I was so disappointed.
Was it
But
a
anyway,
Red Rider wagon?
No, they
was
were
an
actually
off-brand?
like, no, they were
Gardner
like
wagons?
little. They look like little John Deere color. They're pretty cool looking.
Okay.
Oh,
They're
cool.
pretty neat. They had the big like chunky rugged wheels on them, so they were good wagons.
No serious pumpkin farm has the red wagons. They need legitimate Gardner wagons with like the perforated edges that let the water out. And,
Yeah, but it doesn't feel as nostalgic then.
Yeah. I only go to the best pumpkin. No, I've
yeah.
never been to one.
Oh
So-
God, I'm telling you, I hate it. So we bought 4 pumpkins, 2 orange, 2 white, and I just couldn't wait to go. I was told I was allowed to go to the bar after that, so I couldn't wait. I had some hot cider at the bar.
Oh, I thought you-
It had spiced rum in it. It was absolutely delicious.
I thought you were saying they had a bar at the pumpkin
I
patch.
thought
I'm
you were
like,
saying
what are you
there's a bar at the
complaining
pumpkin
about,
patch,
dude?
too. I was
Oh,
like, geez,
no.
yeah, just hang out
We
at
would
the
have been there
bar.
all day. That would have been fine. No, there's no bar.
I guess we got a new pumpkin patch idea, Jesse. We can run our own and have
Yeah.
a bar at it.
Yeah,
For-
absolutely.
For all the dads that don't want to be there.
Let's skip the pumpkin patch part, and we'll just have a bar.
Have a bar.
I will have to say, I do have to say that Manor Hill Tavern in Ellicott City has an excellent spiked rum or spiked cider with rum. If anybody, they'll put whiskey in it too if you'd rather.
Nice.
Next time I'm there.
Now they owe us
Yeah.
money because
Yeah.
we don't sponsor for free. So we'll send the
Yeah, I
bill.
expect a free drink. Yeah, I guess that's it.
I went to a pumpkin patch and had fun. How about that?
It's been the front office.
Peace.
Nice.
Another segment. After hours.
Pumpkin patch.
That was not my fault. That was actually a Riverside error.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
yeah.
Powered by Riverside.
Errored by Riverside.